Hello, my name is Jared Guerin and my undergraduate thesis paper examined the cultural production of a sporting moniker, Bianca Andreescu as She the North. Bianca Andreescu is a 19-year-old Canadian tennis player of Romanian ancestry. She entered the 2019 Women's Tennis Association Tour as the 152nd player in the world and quickly moved up the rankings as the season progressed. She received increased media attention regionally when she defeated tennis superstar Serena Williams by way of retirement at the Canadian Open in Toronto, Canada. Retirement in tennis is when the opposing player withdraws during the match, typically due to an injury. At the US Open, one of the 4 Grand Slam tennis tournaments, her surprising comeback victory in the quarterfinal sparked several users on Twitter to begin to refer to Andreescu as She the North in their posts. The hashtag is an adaptation of We the North, a renowned branding strategy for Canada's only NBA franchise, the Toronto Raptors. Fans' use of the She the North hashtag increased throughout the US Open tournament as Andreescu went on to defeat Serena Williams in the final, becoming the first Canadian and 21st century born player to win a Grand Slam singles title. Andreescu's hometown of Mississauga, Ontario, would go on to organize an event in her honor to celebrate the US Open win, simply branded She the North. The purpose of this study was to examine how the She the North hashtag has been used to represent Andreescu. In addition, the following secondary research questions had been developed to guide the research process. What are the ways in which the She the North tweets reproduce Bianca Andreescu's gender and national identities? And how has the use of the She the North by politicians, other celebrities and sports stars, and organizations served to legitimatize the association between the hashtag and Andreescu? This study was informed by literature from sports celebrity, women in sport, cultural studies, and social media. More specifically, how gender and national identities are represented online. Without going into too much detail, there appeared to be a gap in the literature on how users represent their national identity online, and the impact that online fan discourse has on athletes' brands. Furthermore, the gender, nationality, and celebrity studies that were highlighted in this section were used to guide the results section of the paper. This study was grounded in a cultural studies framework. A formal definition of the framework from Sardar and Van Loon suggests that the goal of cultural studies is to expose power relationships and examine how these relationships influence and shape cultural practices. In the simplest of terms, it is the idea that objects, like an emoji or a hashtag, carry meaning and significance because they have been culturally produced. A hashtag is an aspect of social media that can be used by both notable and unknown users to centralize or anchor what is being said about a specific topic. With the discussion surrounding these hashtags all in one location, there is the potential for online discussion to shape the cultural beliefs surrounding that topic. This study was a qualitative exploratory investigation that examines the hashtag She the North and its prevalence on Twitter. For the purposes of this research project, Twitter is the most appropriate platform to analyze, being that She the North originated on there. According to the site, Twitter is a social networking platform that allows users to communicate through the exchange of quick, frequent messages known as tweets. Using Twitter's advanced search engine, tweets using the She the North hashtag were collected from September 4th, 2019, the first sighting of the hashtag as it relates to Bianca Andreescu, to September 7th, 2019, the day of the US Open final, and then additionally on September 15th, 2019, the day of the She the North rally in Mississauga. Next, each individual tweet was downloaded from Twitter into a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. The following information was recorded from each tweet: who posted the tweet, if the user was verified or not, the date the tweet was posted, the number of online impressions, such as favorites, retweets, replies, whether the tweet was an original tweet or a reply, and the contents of the tweet, including any presence of an emoji, addition of a photo, and short description. Note that the letter E found in the content of the tweet represents the inclusion of emojis, which are listed in order of appearance in the chart. Also, a tweet was classified as primary if it was the first tweet of a thread, or secondary if it was a reply to a previous tweet. Through an inductive thematic analysis, each tweet was independently coded to compile themes related to gender cues, national identity, and sports celebrity. It was assumed that every tweet which contains the She the North hashtag was being used to reinforce Andreescu's gender and nationality unless otherwise stated, due to the utilization of the word she and acknowledgement of her home country's location relative to the United States. For the sake of time, I am going to skip through the intricacies of this process. On the slide is an example of one tweet that encompassed multiple themes and was therefore coded as such. In the analysis, the phrasing of the tweet, attached emojis, additional hashtags used, and media attached which further supports themes of gender and nationality were all considered. Lastly, tweets from verified accounts were examined to offer insights into the impact of their network. A sample of 2,260 tweets from the advent of the She the North hashtag to the rally in Mississauga were recorded and analyzed. The most predominant theme to emerge from the She the North hashtag was the reproduction of Andreescu's Canadian nationality. This reproduction occurred in the sample through the inclusion of Canada flag and maple leaf emojis, specific words or phrases used to preface users' description of Andreescu as a tennis player, like Canadian or Canada's own, and the addition of Canada-inspired hashtags or accounts. What was interesting to identify throughout the sample was the lack of tweets that made mention of her parents' descent from Romania to Canada. Despite the recency of the move, Andreescu's parents moved to Canada in 1995 before having her. The sample suggests that she has no ties to Romania and is entirely Canadian. The next most prominent theme to emerge from the She the North hashtag was the representation of Andreescu's gender identity. The reproduction of Andreescu's gender was mostly done through specific words and phrases like her or she, or the inclusion of gender-specific hashtags. In comparison to Rose et al.'s findings on gender stereotypes online, the sample found that Andreescu has adopted predominantly male stereotypes like active and dominant in conjunction with the She the North hashtag, while female traits like attractive and dependent were few and far between. A number of other minor themes were seen weaving in and out of the sample of tweets depending on the day being analyzed. The theme of celebrity was seen with the use of words like star and icon to describe Andreescu following her semi-final and finals matchup at the US Open. Acknowledgement of her underdog status was seen especially leading up to the matchup against Serena Williams. Based on Darnell and Sparks' study, suggesting that underdog status increases media attention, the She the North hashtag could have received increased prominence for this reason. The final major theme that was seen throughout the sample was the use of the hashtag to promote another brand or product unrelated to Andreescu, like a podcast or clothing company. Moving on to the second research question, it is difficult to determine whether verified accounts had more of an impact promoting the She the North hashtag than the quantity of tweets themselves. 422 tweets overall, and the top 15 tweets from the sample, in terms of replies, retweets, and favorites, came from verified accounts. The tweet with the most engagement came from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, with more than 36,300 favorites. Based on the clear impact that the verified tweets had on the overall sample and the number of individuals Trudeau's tweet alone reached, it is assumed that verified accounts played a key role in growing the She the North hashtag and increasing Andreescu's celebrity. In conclusion, it was determined that the She the North hashtag was used to represent Bianca Andreescu's gender, nationality, and other significant themes. It is critical to acknowledge the limitations of this study despite its findings. This research was limited in that it only explored one case of a sporting moniker. Because of the prominence of Twitter and social media, it is important to look at other hashtags to see what different meanings they carry. Second, this research relied on the accuracy of Twitter's advanced search engine. In addition, tweets that contained just the words She the North without the hashtag were not collected and could have gathered additional themes to analyze. Lastly, the subjectivity of the data assessment is a limitation when it comes to certain phrases and emojis. Because these objects are culturally produced, each person's interpretation of an emoji's meaning could be different. Future research is encouraged to look at additional sporting monikers and utilize external data collection sites when possible. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to my presentation.